So the Mario movie is out and people are wondering what's going to happen with the next new 3D Mario video game for the Nintendo Switch 2. So I thought that I'd do a little bit of a theory video on what is happening with this game. Why haven't we seen it yet? When will we see the game? What type of Mario game will it be? Nintendo's mysterious 3-year plan that I've been able to kind of cook up and look between the lines that Nintendo is definitely doing to make this one of the biggest Mario launches for a new system. Also, some other things when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 second and third years. So I've got a lot of stuff that I want to discuss, and we're going to get into exactly what is happening with the new 3D Mario game. But before we continue on, we are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2. All you have to do to enter is hit that subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed, and drop a comment below. We are giving away a Nintendo Switch 2 once we hit 150,000 subscribers, and it will be random. So the more that you actually comment and interact, the better chance that you have to win. Hit that like button, click that notification bell, and let's go ahead and jump right back into it. So when will we see the game? Well, shout outs to Nate the Hate. He had a podcast where he talked about a lot of Nintendo's plans and games for 2026 this year and next year. And unfortunately, Mario seems to be a 2027 plan when it comes to a new 3D Mario game. And some might have speculated that maybe they were delaying it because of Grand Theft Auto 6. But it does seem like they're trying to just make sure that the game is as good as it can possibly be, and they're polishing it up. So 2027 seems to be the play for the next big 3D Mario game. And throughout this video, there's a lot of indications why Nintendo will be doing that, and we're going to explore that. So why are they taking so long though? One of the big things that I've seen other content creators talk about and people online is that it's been 10 years since the last brand new 3D Mario game. Well, it's going to be 10 years next year. Super Mario Odyssey came out in October of 2017. We're now in 2026. And while we've got some new things here and there, we've got new 2D Mario with Mario Bros. Wonder. We did get Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. The Bowser's Fury part is new. There has been some new stuff since then, but the new game to launch on a new system is not here yet with Mario, 3D Mario. Other Mario stuff, but not quite that yet. So why are they taking so long? So it's, in my opinion, that they are taking quite some time because Super Mario Odyssey was just a masterpiece. It's the best-selling 3D Mario game of all time. It's actually, I think, the best-selling 3D platformer of all time, or definitely one of the best-selling ones. It was perfection in so many different ways. It fits so many different styles of gameplay. If you wanted to just pick it up and gather some moons just for a bit in short bursts, you can do that. Or if you want to sink a ton of time and really play and collect a lot, you can do that as well. It had so many movement options. It had so many different types of levels. It had so many different types of content. It was just a behemoth of a game. And when you're launching a game after something like that, you're going to have to bring everything that you've got in order to kind of make this game better than what it was before, because you don't want the game to be seen as not as good. Super Mario Odyssey is updated in the 4K and 60 FPS. People are still playing it. People are still buying it. It's still one of the better selling games that Nintendo has. So people still know and play that game. So I think that they are taking their time to make sure that they fully make a game that not only is polished to the degree that it needs to be polished, but that it's a true next generation leap over what we saw with Super Mario Odyssey. So those are the reasons why I think it's taking so long. They're trying to make sure that whenever they do release this game, when it's finally ready to go, that it truly surpasses everyone's expectations. And this is something that they've been doing, or at least been trying to do, with Mario for a very long time. And Mario games usually take quite a bit to come out in between when it comes to big new Mario games. Yes, this is the largest gap that we've had, but I also think this is probably going to be the most advanced and craziest Mario game that we've ever seen. The Nintendo Switch 2 is significantly stronger than the Nintendo Switch 1. This is the biggest jump Nintendo's had from one system to another when it comes to a direct Mario game that we've seen probably since the Super Nintendo to the N64. This is going to be a big jump. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what the game is, how it looks like, and what is happening. Now, another thing that people ask about, and I think I have some ideas with this, is what type of Mario game will it be? There's the linear Mario games like the Super Mario Galaxy games, for example. You have these sandbox Mario games like Sunshine or Mario 64, Super Mario Odyssey. And then you also have the open world, which is kind of more of a newer thing and really just with Bowser's Fury. I think they're experimenting with some of the open world design that you can do in a game. So what type of game will it be? Well, I think that Nintendo's probably going to draw from all of their experiences. If you look at everything that they've done, a lot of times when they make a new game, they'll draw from one experience and another. They'll kind of take little things from each one and turn it into something else, and then it kind of creates a new experience. So I expect this new Mario game, or more like I'm theorizing that this new Mario game will actually be a nice combination of everything that they've done. You'll have levels that will be more linear, like Super Mario Galaxy. You'll have sandbox style areas that you can play around in, and you might have open world type of areas as well. And I think they're going to try to mend it and meld it together to where it feels cohesive and seamless. With the Nintendo Switch 2, that type of system with the power that it has over the Switch 1, you can create something like that. A lot of times the paintings or certain things were created out of limitations of the hardware, having to load up things. And I think that now with the Switch 2, with how fast it is, I think that they no longer have to do that and they can pull some of the limits off. And we saw a little bit of that with Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. So I do think that that's what they're going to try to go for. They're trying to make sure that they incorporate many different types of elements to this new Mario game, and they create something that feels fresh and new, because Mario's been around for a long time. 3D Mario's been around for a long time. They've done so many different things. Mario has went to space. He's been all over the place. There are so many different things that they've done with Mario. What ideas could they have to make sure that this is the best type of Mario game that it can be? And I think this is one of the reasons why that it's taking quite some time, because they are mixing in so many different elements from Mario games, but to try to make it feel cohesive and not like a mix match of different types of things. Odyssey had so many ideas from past Mario games, so many new ideas, different things that they've tried, different things that they did, and I feel that they want to have that type of wonder and excitement and freshness like they brought to Mario games like we've seen over the last number of years. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, that was fantastic, and even the Mario team, what they did with Donkey Kong Bonanza. So I think that's what's happening, and that's the type of game that we can see. But I guess it would be more categorized as maybe like a sandbox style Mario game. So I'm guessing it's going to be something along the lines of that, but in a different scope that's going to feel very fresh, new, and unique. Okay, so I kind of hinted at Nintendo's 3-year Mario plan, and this is something that I'm cooking up that I think that Nintendo will be doing. Really make Mario huge with 3 core Mario things that are happening to really boost the profile of Mario, and of course sell a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 systems. So the first phase of the plan was Mario Kart World in 2025, right there at the launch of the system. You have Mario Kart World as that big system seller. The game has sold over 14 million units as of the end of December 2025, and more people are picking up the Nintendo Switch 2, getting that redeem code for Mario Kart World, and more people are even picking it up separately as well. So Mario Kart World is a game that really was massive, and it's going to continue being big. They're continuing to update it. They still have a team working on that, and it's going to get better and better, as it didn't launch in the best state when it comes to content, but slowly but surely they're adding things in and making the game better. So I think Mario Kart World was the first step in that 3-year Nintendo Mario plan. The second step was the Mario movie. This was a huge step for what they wanted to do. So in the second year, or calendar years we're talking about here, 2025, now we're in 2026, we have the Mario movie, and the Mario movie, the plan for that is to boost Mario's profile across all boards, obviously reach kids, reach all types of people, and boost all of the previous game sales. It's going to help Mario Kart sell more. It's going to help the Switch 2, of course, sell more. It's going to help Mario Galaxy. That's selling a lot more now at this point because of the movie. All of the Mario games, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, everything has gotten a boost because of the Mario movie. So although obviously the Mario movie is not a game, what it is that it helps to boost the profile of every single game and sell probably millions more copies of Mario games with every single one. You combine that with little things that are going on when it comes to like getting like a case at Best Buy if you buy 2 Mario games, or getting a poster at Target if you buy a Mario game. These are all things that the Mario movie is doing to help move the profile of Mario and boost up the previous game sales. So that is the second calendar year plan. Now, here's Nintendo's final third-year plan that I think that they're doing with Mario to really give it a boost, and that is the big Mario game in 2027. So for the calendar year 2025, Mario Kart World, 2026, Mario movie, then 2027, that is the big new 3D Mario game to kind of max out what Mario's doing in the first 3 years. Now, of course, there's other little things here and there throughout, like you have like Wonder, you have other stuff, but those were the 3 main things that they're doing to really bring Mario in a big way and help boost the profile of the system, in addition to just making sure that Mario sells the best that it can sell. Now, the Mario movie also did like a little side note here, just like to help another franchise out. The Mario movie had some really cool stuff when it comes to Star Fox. So I think that that was one of the things that they really wanted to do, because Star Fox is reportedly coming this year in 2026. So the Mario movie also wanted to help boost the profile of Star Fox and get that to sell better as well. So that's another thing that I felt that Nintendo wanted to do, and why Star Fox was also featured so well. Plus it made sense because they're in space. So if you're going to have a big cameo, you're going to make a game, that was the time to get it done. Now, another thing here is this is shaping up, when it comes to the Switch 2's third year, to be pretty massive if you have Mario in 2027. Pokemon is already set for 2027. I do think that the Pokemon company is probably aiming for an early 2027 launch, very similar to Pokemon Legends Arceus or similar to Pokemon Pocopia. Both of those launched within the first few months of the year when they dropped. Usually, if the Pokemon company doesn't do a end of the year release like in November, they usually do early in the year. So I'm expecting it to be right before Nintendo's financial year ends, and that will be a massive boost to system sales. Then you also look at 3D Mario. That can be put pretty much at any time slot. That can be in the spring, so that can be kind of like the Super Mario Galaxy 2 type of situation, or it can be in the fall, where they can have an October type of release like they did for Super Mario Odyssey. So they can also do that. Mario can really go anywhere. So I think that 3D Mario, we have to kind of just wait and see where they slot that in. But once again, it could go in the first half, it could go in the second half. So Nintendo still has quite a number of franchises at their disposal and different things to help boost the profile of the system and get more people talking about their games. Now, once again, this is all just theories when it comes to Mario and what Nintendo is doing. Obviously, it could be very different. It's probably going to be radically different from some of the stuff that I said here, but I'm just kind of going over all of the history of what we've seen, what's happened in the past, what they've been kind of doing, and kind of pulling some of the hints here and there on what Nintendo could possibly do for a new 3D Mario game, and what it can do to kind of boost the whole profile of the Nintendo Switch 2 so they can sell a lot of systems. The Nintendo Switch 1 was a crazy system. It was a system that nobody expected to do as well as it did. It could potentially be the best-selling system of all time when it's all said and done. And obviously, it's going to be hard for any system to match what the Nintendo Switch 1 did. But I do think that Nintendo is going to throw everything that they've got to make sure that the Nintendo Switch 2 is very successful. So I see it being a super successful system with a lot of great exclusives to push Mario and other titles all around it to bigger and better things. So what do you guys think about everything that I talked about here when it comes to my new 3D Mario Switch 2 theory? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're someone new, click that notification bell, and check out my other Nintendo Switch 2 RPG content and more right here on screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.